Okay, we had a dropout because apparently it can only, so-called only, record 4 gigabytes. That's one of the crazy lunacy things with this, because I know it can record much more than 4 gigabytes. I think I had a video like recording of 18 gigabytes or something like that. You just have just have to have the software that don't actually jail you like anything, it's typical. So this is one of these crazy things again where they lock the system down, and actually where the hardware absolutely can't do it, but where they have chosen to put a yeah, it's very sad. So apparently we have one video here. It should be 2009-05. I think that would be. No, that does. Oh, it's actually up here. Okay, there we go. I need to look onto the other ones and upload them and then just delete them. Again, I don't have that much space. And hopefully in the future, as long as Satan doesn't kill me, and as long as God protects me, or that Jehovah protects me and let me, defend me in regards of my life, as long as I'm kept alive, I will stand for the truth, and I will try to narrow things down and concentrate the things. I guess the problem with concentrating the things is that people ends up just disbelieving you. It's just incredible how people will, it's yeah. And I guess that's the same thing which I have in regards of Alberto Rivera. I had issues with, but the thing is, the more you do research, the more you find out that there might be something about these claims that he makes. Anyway, so let's get back to the thing here. In regards of this is from my own Facebook. So the only one that actually can delete things is Sebastian. He can delete his own topics, but as you can see, I did, usually I would put the answer like this, and but again, if you do that on Facebook, after they made this feature, if he decides that he wants to delete it all, he can do that. You give him the power if you write right there. Now, I'm not saying that he will do it, but I know that a lot of people does it, and I can't rule that out. So I'm not going to take the chance. So what I did was to, so he's saying, Catholicism teaches Catholics to follow Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, so I write back to him, and again, I put it underneath it on Facebook because I know by experience, pretty, a lot of experience, because I'm too stupid to still, and I'm sometimes still doing it, because if you just write it underneath it, it's not always checking in regards of what are you writing in regards and all of that. But of course, maybe you could actually just take the message and put it down, and then make a reply to it, and that would actually also be better, because if the person actually deletes it, you would still have what he's talking about, and then my thing underneath it. Because when people, when you're talking to people and they delete all the things, it's, and the people can't see what I'm responding to, it makes it harder to see what is going on, so that would actually be a nice thing, but it will, of course, have more information in it. And of course, if you write on different other forums, they can themselves delete. And I've been censored a huge amount. It's not a small amount that I have been censored out in the world. That's for sure. Anyway, but I'm not the only one that is in getting this censor thing. That's for sure. Satan doesn't want the truth out, and he's doing everything to keep it away from the people. Anyway, so I write back to Sebastian here. I wish, in regards of following Jesus Christ, I wish they were actually, in regards of Roman Catholicism, teaches Catholics to follow Jesus Christ. And my reply is, I wish. That would be wonderful. That I wouldn't actually, talk against this system. So I continue to write here. No, it teaches to follow the false cookie Jesus, the way for God of the Antichrist of the number 666. to worship above and adore this sun-shaped unleavened bread, and to look to it being put in a monstrance looking like sun rays around the so-called victim that is continually and perpetual thought to be sacrificed for the living and the dead in the whorehouses, and walked around for all to see, and then thinking to eat the divine Jesus by crunchy munchy on these cookies. And I continue. And then we have the Mariolatry, that is idolatry, and all the falsehoods that follow that subject as well. It is an utter disaster to behold how the blind are led into these fallacies of Satan to worship him and not Jehovah. The whoring, and I continue, the whoring with the devil and old snake by statues, biscuits, images, and so forward. Or so forth, sorry. I should probably have also put in icons and all that, but I'm talking to a Catholic here, so icons is more in regards to the Orthodox, where they believe the Holy Spirit is in the icon, what lunacy we have in this world, Anyway, the whore was there from the beginning of the Roman conception. She never died, but hid herself in sheep clothing. It is the pagan Roman mystery religion of confusion. It's mystery Babylon. Babylon meets confusion, right? Babel. Anyway, based as far as I can see, mostly and primary on old pagan sun worship. And of course, the book of Revelation actually also points to that in regards of Apollo or Apollyon and all that. But anyway, again, what is it called? What is he called? The unconquerable god, Sol Invictus. It seems like it has name of Mithra, and seems Apollo seems to be one. Anyway, it seems to be that but Sol Invictus seems to be what is primary. Anyway, so old pagan sun worship. Constantine might have been the first real pope and was the high pagan priest of sun worship, Pontifex Maximus. But corruption started very early on in the first century as the bad seeds are sown by the enemy and mixed together with the good in the field, as to say the world. And he writes back here to me. And then he says, no need to wish. None of what you said has to do with the Catholic Church founded by Jesus. Well, I guess we can agree that nothing has to do with in regards of the what Jesus founded. But as you are Roman Catholic, and then you have to believe a lot of these things, because if not, you are heretic. According to the Roman maniac institution. But anyway, so. I read back. A lot of the Protestants was former Roman Universalist. Having been former Papist, they knew a thing or two about their former religion of twisting, and that the head of the children of God is not the unholy faker, that would be the so-called Holy Father, just getting a more applicable word for it, unholy faker, known by the world as the Pope. But Christ, and Christ alone, who died once and for all for the sins of the world. You see, that's problems that the Catholics are not believing. They do not believe that Jesus died once and for all. They believe in the cookie Jesus. And seeing how they twist the things, just seeing debates and all that in regards to this Mary thing, and how they try to twist, we are not this and that and all that. I do have eyes and ears to hear, to see what you're actually doing, I was this street preacher was speaking against Roman Catholics, and they flock around it and begin to pray to Mary, so-called Mary. It's like they just totally didn't understand what he was telling them, and they just begin to, they're not talking, they're not praying to Jesus, just Mary. And I can see myself what you do with the so-called statues of Mary and all that, and kissing and upside cross and bowing and all that. Don't tell me, is the evidence is in the pudding in some sense. It's just you can just see it for yourself. You don't need to listen to what they say. You just need to look at that, their deeds, their fruit. And I've seen people bowing down before Pope statues and the Pope, laying on the floor like total what is it called? Oh, I can't remember what it is. The Jews do it as well, but you can see it on the Mount of Olives, for example, where they totally lay flat on the earth in the direction of where the temple stood and all that. But anyway, but I've seen that in regards to the Antichrist as well, where people just lay on the floor in the direction of the Antichrist. And you see taking oath in regards of the switch guard and all that. It actually seems to be the same sign where they do like this or something like that. Actually, the Nazis I've seen though more like they're more closed in the hands, where the switch guard like spread more out when they take the oath. But what does our master say? Well, don't take any oath, right? Don't swear an oath. And of course, the Hitler thing and all that in regards of the salute and all that is a Roman salute. You can see the Palestine, the so-called Palestines do it as well, and also use the sun symbol and all that. It all goes together, people. All roads leads to Rome. And anyway, so if you look into Nazism, you can just see all roads leads to Rome. And there's a Reichskonkordat in 1933. The red lines of the Vatican in regards of fleeing Nazis to Roman Catholic nations. And the Hastati is fleeing as well. A lot of them of these Nazis fled to Argentina. And I'm sure there must be some of these, I guess it's Serbian Hastati or something like that, fleeing as well. And, everything seems to come up open in regards of the truth nowadays. It's very hard to hide. But there's a lot of propaganda out there trying to get us away from the truth. But if you just look at the Nazi flag. What does the Nazi flag look like? I've read in regards of the quote from the Mein Kampf, what the flag, what is said to represent to the, to the people. I don't believe that. Look at the flag. What is the flag? It's the cookie Jesus. It's the false cookie Jesus. It's the sun cookie Jesus. If you know in regards to the mystery religion of Rome, and in regards of the, and going back to sun worship, the symbol in the Nazi flag is a sun symbol, and then you have the cookie. And if I have images from Nazi Germany in regards of it represented as a sun, and you have the sign in the middle of it, and you have it sun rays around it, as you see, it's just, it's just right in your face. And I have 3 of those, and there's probably more out there, but I have 3 of those where you see this Nazi flag in the middle actually representing the sun on images. And one image, and there's then like things that you can put up there. I have 2 of those, and there's probably more. I've also seen Nazi writing where going through the sun or something like that. The word choice of seems like they knew what they were talking about in regards to this. And knowing that Hitler was a good Roman Catholic, and just because he might not have expressed it some of the places and all that, deception is a tool of Satan, and just because you're not proclaiming some of the things in regards of Roman Catholicism, the question is, what is Roman Catholicism? What is that true doctrine when, in regards behind the veil of, this lamb veil of Christianity, What is the true doctrine actually of this wicked system? Anyway, so the religion of twisting, and the head of the children of God is not the unholy faker, because he thinks he's, the head of the whole world and the Christians. Known by the world as the Pope, but Christ and Christ alone, who died once and for all for the sins of the world. Again, if there's any time coming, any uproar in this country, I'm going to be killed. I'm pretty much sure about that. I don't. But okay. Well, it depends. If God is going to hold His hand over me and keep me alive, then you know. But I think that's the only that's the only defense that I would have in regards to that. If God wants to keep me alive, he can deter the evil away, and change things in regards to that. So they really, but in any case, but I do wonder how many people that actually was, people that knew some truth that actually was killed in regards of Second World War, because it seems like that we have been deceived, that we don't know what Nazi Germany was actually about, that it was actually leading back to Rome. Seems to be a pretty big deception that no one seems to know. No, it's just incredible, that we could forget such things. Anyway, so Sebastian writes back to me, Catholics aren't universalist. Catholicism doesn't teach to twist anything. The only part we can agree on is Christ who died on the cross for the sins of the world, which is said every Mass. So here he gives me some Catholic doctrine, and I don't have a problem with that, let them expose themselves, because one thing is that I say it, another thing is when the Catholics are saying the things, in regards to the Mass and all that. Christ Mass. Look at the word, people. It's going back to Rome and this pagan religion of sun worship that hides behind sheep clothing. Anyway, so I write back. So I ask him, what does the word Catholic mean, Sebastian? Question mark. What does it mean? Yeah, what does the word Catholic mean, Sebastian? What does it mean? Well, I think it means universalist. But anyway, so I write, Dave Hunt has some great images of the king of heathendom, collecting all the religions in Rome, except true Christians, of course. So the Roman high priest got all together in this unity meeting. Dave Hunt have images of that in his video, and I put the video, and it's the video in regards of, it's actually a pretty good video, and I switched to it. Now that I don't have the 80 tabs anymore because, I lost it all. I need to write them again in regards to how, they have, if you actually have the tabs here, there's a place here where they could put a button in regards of, where you could just push it and it would, store all the tabs. Yes, it's very easy. And if you want to restore them, you could maybe make it like if you hold the key down there, and it could say, do you want to restore the tabs? Yep. Yeah. And you could maybe, it's not that hard. Oh, anyway, here we go. A woman rides the beast. And he also made a book in regards to that, and he made this, pretty good video about it. So I sent that to him. In regards of a reference, in regards of the images of what is going on in Rome. I don't know if he actually saw it, and I'm trying to open his eyes, but it seems to be a very hard thing to do with these Catholics, So what does the word Catholic mean, Sebastian? Oh, we actually pretty much wrote that. Okay. Then I go on, well, I guess you're not seeing with my eyes and what I experience and see. Because I witness a lot of twisting from Roman Catholics, Romanist or Papist, and Ultramontanist. An Ultramontanist is people that wants to have the Antichrist as the leader in this world, and you can look that up. It's there's more information on that. I guess it's a great word, but it's a word that we don't really know. There's a lot of words that we don't know, and that's probably a lot of words that I need to learn. There's huge amount. Sat on something I shouldn't sit on. Anyway, anyway, ouch. Because I witnessed a lot of twisting from Roman Catholics, Romanist or Papist, and Ultramontanist. Okay, so this is in regards of this Jesus version where he says we can agree. The only thing we can agree on is in regards of Jesus and all that. But we can't even agree on that. Again, I don't know. I'm really careful about this guy now because I thought he was a Christian. When I was in Israel, he sounded pretty Christian, and I really liked him. It's just. And we walked with a guy that was a former Roman Catholic, yet he still had some leaven in him. And again, from the answers and the memory thinking back, something seems fishy, because it seems like he actually was, when I was talking to the former Roman Catholics, he actually seems to actually support that, that was not a good thing. But if he actually was a Roman Catholic at that point, it wouldn't be any, he should have, I guess, try to get that guy back into the Roman Catholic Church, yet, seemingly saying that, that's... So again, it just seems deceptive. I had 2 episodes I can remember, but overall, something seems totally fishy. And when I had his Facebook, there was nothing Catholic on the Facebook. And then it began a little more, and now it's just full blown, and now apparently he's out in the open, that's for sure. But anyway, so I'm writing back in regards to I'm done with the lies and I'm done with the deception. So I'm going directly, I'm not going to say, oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to say directly what I know. We go, oh yeah, we all need to get along and all that. No, I'm going to tell you directly what it is and all that. So he tells me, okay, we can agree that Jesus in regards of dying and so forward. And I tell him, well, we can't even agree on that either. Because when you talk about Christ, you think cookie, wafer, and biscuit. I'm not sure if biscuit is the best word for it actually, because a biscuit usually tastes good, right? But anyway, so I'm not entirely sure I should use biscuit but it is a synonym for cookie and wafer. Cookie, I guess cookie still might be also a little in regards when you say cookie, you think of something that actually tastes good, So wafer might be the best word. But yeah, you get the meaning, You think cookie, wafer, and biscuit in the blasphemy of the Mass. Oh yeah, what did you go? Because when you talk about Christ, you think cookie, wafer, and biscuit in the blasphemy of the Mass, where the priest think to have the power to make the false Jesus God, holding him in his hand and sacrificing him again for the dead and the living. They do, when you talk to Roman Catholics, they do believe that Jesus was God and all that. Because they believe the cookie becomes divine. They just made a when they speak like Christians, yet, behind the veil of it, there's a huge amount of problems because it's not Christianity. Because again, they believe the cookie becomes divine. It's a the wafer thing. Anyway, it's horrible. It's just horrible, utter horrible. So they speak like Christians, yet they're not. Well, of course, that in regards to Jesus say, come out of her, my people. There might be some in the Roman Catholic Church, but when they realize, at some point they should be able to realize something is wrong here. If they're going to follow Christ and have the Spirit of truth, there should absolutely be something in them telling them there's something wrong here. I need to get out of the system, There should absolutely be something in them that makes a check in them and tell them this is absolutely not good. And get them out of this system. But anyway, if you get out of this system, tell others what you know. If you know a lot of Roman Catholicism, expose Satan. Make some videos so we can get more Catholics out of this system, because the devil is in the business of drawing people, away from God and on the road to destruction. So the second death, where both body and soul is destroyed. This is a serious thing, in regards of saving souls. This is very serious thing. So it says there's a huge gap between Romanism, that's Roman Catholicism, or papism, I guess would be a word as well. Papism, I think is the word. Maybe you can look it up. Papism. I'm not sure if it actually is in this new thing, because a lot of the words seems to be in some of the new words seems to be. Let's see if it have it. That actually has it. Okay, that's nice. I think still this is the best. This is the best program if you in regards of Android, in regards of papism, yeah, papism, papistry, popery, Roman Catholicism, Romanism, and so forward. And it says it's an offensive term for the practices and rituals of the Roman Catholic Church and blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, why would it be positive? In regards of this maniac institution. But that's in regards of WordWhip. I would, of all the programs I've tried, WordWhip is the best one in regards of looking words up. It's just, it's just so nice. Just so nice. They are referring to another program. I haven't tried it. Again, that was something in regards that you can try 2 hours, and then if you don't like it, get the money back and all that. But it should be here. Where it closes it down. Where is it? Maybe I need to lock that out. There should be an option thing. Where is that? Maybe so. No, I don't know where it is. It should done. Why is it jumping out of the program? There should be like a menu. Oh, that is. Oh yeah, my bad. We draw it out. It's like, okay, Chambers Dictionary and Chambers Thesaurus or Thesaurus. In any case, I'm not sure how you spell Thesaurus. I'll cancel. But you need to pay money for those. But as I understand it, it has the same model of things, but it has different words. So it shouldn't have any spyware, but I haven't installed it to try it out. But some people after buying those are actually saying that WordWhip is better. So yeah. So WordWhip, I love that. The other thing should have other words and definitions and all that, as it is its own in some sense. Again, Merriam-Webster and Webster's Dictionary and what's it called? I can't even remember. But again, the new version have spyware in them, and that's just unacceptable. So I would not recommend those. I do use them from time to time, and that was actually my go-to in some sense. And then they fixed the spyware, and WordWhip have this. If you copy a word, somewhere and go directly into the program, it will look it up automatically. None of the other programs I have this incredible, wonderful feature making it easier for the user. So WordWhip, absolutely recommended, and that's a free version. There's WordWhip without audio, which is pretty much the exact same thing as the audio, but the WordWhip without audio does not cost money. It's free to download and use. The audio version does cost money. But again, I think they deserve it, by the way. And it's offline, where I think actually the two others, Merriam-Webster and Webster Dictionary, is not offline. I think that was in regards, they had some kind of the same, that was something in regards of listening to the word, I think. But you need to be, if I remember correctly, you need to be online. But in any case, I can't remember. I'm not going to look. Let's just get back to I'm getting off topic. Anyway, so my recommendation, instead of all of you trying all these other things. So anyway, let's see here. There's a huge gap between Romanism and Christianity, which has shown itself valid through history. A bloodbath of killings of the saints, standing for the truth and the... Oh, why did it just do that? Okay. Apparently, okay. Just need to get some water. There's a huge gap between Romanism and Christianity, which has shown itself valid through history. A bloodbath of killings of the saints standing for the truth and the commandments of Jehovah. you can't be a Roman Catholic without believing in the false cookie Jesus, because if you don't, you would by this filthy system be considered a heretic like me. Council of Trent still stands as far as I know. I'm an accused anathematized heretic according to Rome, acceptable for slaying. Yep. Can always go to the priest and get absolution, right, for your sins. It's been done before in history. And in regards, so you just look at the mafia, right? Oh, they've done all these wicked deeds, the mafia. And what do? Just go to the Roman Catholic priest and get absolution. You think that was the way Jesus, yeah, it's just incredible, this system, and it has many children. This system has many children. It's the mother hole. A mother have children. A lot of children she seems to have. All roads leads back to Rome. She just seems, so much of the wicked, It seems like the mafia seems to go back to Rome. Communism seems to go back to Rome. Nazism seems to go back to Rome. Mohammedanism seems to actually go back to Rome. That's, a huge amount of things seems to just go directly to Rome. Yeah. Freemasonry also seems to go back to Rome. And of course, in regards of the, Illuminati thing, seems to go back to Rome as well. But again, I don't have that much, all these secret groups and all that where the most powerful men are getting together and, yeah. All roads leads to Rome. And I think in regards to the Bilderberg meeting, there's they have invited, a cardinal, I think like that. I think it's a cardinal, Roman Catholic cardinal. So they're much more out in the open in our days than they were before. So now they're coming out from their, hiding. Any case, but mostly working, in the darkness. So we can delete that. Okay, so that he hasn't responded yet to my post. But again, it's the same thing with a lot of Catholics. When you talk to them, they're just totally oblivious to fact. And I guess I think it's the same thing with the Jews. When a lot of Jews, when you are on the internet, just promotes the same things. And I found out where they got these things from. In regards of a so-called rabbi, and I was there in Jerusalem, and he was teaching all these abominations and these falsehoods and all that. And I was like, oh, that's where the people, have it from. So these people are just listening to these so-called rabbis, these blind guides, and then go out on the internet and promote it. Without, doing some research for themselves. They just take the words of of a blind person. The blind leading the blind. Anyone heard about that before? Anyway, so I was on, on multiple Catholic video things. The one I was invited to, and, in regards of Easter being pagan, all that, which I got some interesting responses as well, but I don't think my posts have been deleted, but it wouldn't be a surprise if someone, did. I do wonder why you can't, why they didn't, when you have a message, the chat app, why you can't actually see what you yourself have written. If someone, finds out I want to delete that, well, that's, too bad, because there's no backup of it anywhere, it seems. At least not for the user, I don't know if they have on this, but not for the user. And that just seems weird that you're not allowed to, yeah. So, and again, I could, of course, every time I write something, I could fix it in a document instead, and I should probably do that. But of course, then you would only have my side of the story, and not, because if I need to, copy paste all the things that other people's also, that would be a mess. But I guess primarily my own information. When you sit there, it just flows out, and and just go with the flow, and you make some pretty, I think, some pretty good. Well, at least it's so good that people actually deletes the things, you know. So it seems Satan thinks it's okay. And here's a guy that says, I'm unlearned. Yeah, you get those things. You know, the devil will try many things to try to, you know, oh, you're wrong, this and that. And of course, you know, there are many things in regards of, you know, you fall into some of the deception sometimes in regards to the devil, trying to find out who the Antichrist was and all that, and the whole revelation. That was, I was led astray by what? Well, Roman Catholics, of course. You see, they're out there trying to get you away for actually looking at their system as the whole revelation. But again, if you grow in the Bible, I think it's, all roads leads to Rome. And again, you can just look back at what the Protestants believed. Anyway, so I was on this place. I'm not sure if I can actually find it on the YouTube how that will go out, but I want this so skip trial. It's by the way a Jew, Hananiah, Naphtali. Anyway, let's see, library. There we go. The Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, and this is not in regards of Easter, of course. So this is one of the other places. And Assyrians have something in regards of gray. I don't really. It reminds me of something in regards of death, and so. But anyway, but Assyrian seems to be very loving of the gray, but of course they seem to have gone into adultery as well in regards to statues and all idols and all that. So we got a lot of Christians killed off in, I think this was the First World War. Assyrians and what was the other ones that is and Greeks apparently seems to also have been, and it seems to. I think actually all of the groups might have been Orthodox Christians or something like that, and they were just persecuted by the Turks, and the Kurds was slaying them. But I'm thinking it might actually be, because they're straight in regards of idolatry, it might be God actually punishing the Christians that should have known better, that runs into idolatry, So and just it's very sad. Anyway, so I don't know, but anyway, apparently the Turkey still rejects that it never that it ever took place. So they still reject this Holocaust of the Assyrians. What was it called? Why can't I remember? The other group is that is usually known. Oh, well, there we go. Let's see if we can find it, the word of it. So, and that's a huge amount of people killed as well. But I think it might actually be a punishment from Jehovah, in regards of slaying these professed Christians, because we are committing adultery. Many Christians are committing adultery and whoring with Satan, and yet proclaiming Christ, and yet turning to these icons and these statues and these, it's very sad. I would recommend anyone to destroy these statues and idols and cookies and just make crucifixes and all that. Just make a good bonfire and just get it on, Show the Mohammedans that you do not accept these idols. And maybe some of the Mohammedans might actually be converted, when they see that the Christian, maybe the Mohammedans will actually kill off the Christians anyway. But anyway, I think it might help on it in regards of if the professed Christians was showing that they were not doing, that did not accept idolatry in regards to statues and images. I think the Mohammedans, think about it. If all the Middle East of the Christians was, where the churches are beside a mosque or something like that, and the Christians go outside and make a fire in front of the church building, and begin to take all the images, think about it. Oh, let's say, that you have 1,000 Catholics or Orthodox having images and idols and whatever, and all these superstition things and all that, and they just begin to load on the fire, take all the statues from inside the church and put it in the fire, and the images and, whatever they have inside, and put it on the fire. The Mohammedans might see what they're doing. It's like, what are you okay? They're burning the statues and images and all that. They might actually see it as a positive thing, and think, okay, yeah, okay, to show that Christians do not commit adultery, but. It's trying to get to the place. It's very slow, this map, when I'm recording. Apparently it must take a lot of CPU power from the mobile. Let's see, we should be there now. Armenia. So the Armenian people, the Assyrian people, and as I understand it, also some Greeks might be just all of them Orthodox or something like that. But overall, there was a great persecution in Turkey unto these peoples. And mostly people just talk about the Armenian slaughter, but it's not only the Armenians, it's the Assyrians and apparently also the Greek. I haven't looked much into the Greek, but I've read that the Greek was also, and it might be in regards of orthodoxy, who knows. I haven't, but it seems to be. So I was asking a question in regards to that video. Let's go back and maybe we should turn this on. There we go. And maybe when I'm recording, I should probably take less screens. I have to check on YouTube how many screens it actually records, because that would of course make the mobile slower, and it would be nice to have the mobile actually being more responsive, and more fluently. So let's see here, where did we go? Oh, it was YouTube I was into. Okay, there we go. So, but she's, I found this video because I'm interested in learning some Aramaic as well. And she's doing the prayer of the Lord or Jehovah, or Yeshua. Of course, let's see where my post is actually. That's a good question. Where is my post? Why wouldn't it actually show my post in the top? Usually it does that on let's just close this so we get a little more. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah. Oh no. That's annoying, it should be in here, yet I can't find my post. Typical. Well, of course, don't make it easy for the user apparently, let's see my history, my videos, where can it be in regards of inbox? I don't know if that's, no, subscriptions. No, where could it be in regards of, can I no, channel, no. Well, history maybe, but that seems to be just in regards to what videos I've seen, right? I thought that was at some place, I know it's in regards to the Lord's Prayer, so again, I just, I don't understand. Oh, notifications, there we go. So actually, that's the two new messages that I got from the woman that You know, and she asked me what it was, and I told her I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ, and yet she, you know, and she, oh, so you are Jehovah's Witnesses. So many times your sect and my true religion been in debate in my country, and your sect has been destroyed. Well, of course I am a Jehovah's Witness, but I'm not in regards to the Jehovah's Witnesses cult, in regards to the false witnesses who don't believe that Jesus is God Almighty. But people always try to put you in a box and all that, and I've answered her, and answering Catholics, and they will, you write it directly to them, and yet they will miss. It's a really twisting. They're just twisters, and it's just very sad. Anyway, so we can see some of them where they write back to me here, but it would be nice to get the whole thing. I actually thought, no, I think I actually wrote first in regards of, but let's see if it's actually this, or maybe it's, okay, let's see, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, so I didn't actually start the thing apparently. So this is 3 months ago. Do the Christians in your era have idols? And let's see here. No, that doesn't seem to have any answer. Apparently, I asked in regards to the Christians. That seems to be the first post. Apparently, they live in peace. What do you guys mean they are oppressed? Lebanon is half Christian, Egypt has 10 million Christians, and they live with total peace with other people. Stop your bullshit and do research instead of listening to rotten media. Not sure what they're what he's replying to at this point. But anyway, that's not the important thing. That was someone that actually answered my question. Paolo Dilek. I think she's a woman or something like that. Sir, and I don't know why people are calling one sir and all. This seems Anyway, sir, Christians in Middle East have statues and pictures, Coptic, Orthodox, and Catholic. And she makes smiles and okay. And then I go on and say thanks. They should make a good fire outside the church building and burn them all. So she asks, sir, are you a born again Baptist? And then she again, so are you a Lutheran Protestant? So if we do it because churches in the Middle East are old and ancient, we will erase the origin of Christianity, and one day in a Mohammedan country, debate a Mohammedan will ask the Christian debater, where is your ancient holy church? The Christian will look down to ground with a sad face and reply, I don't know, because we burned them. No, I don't. The church is the congregation of believers. Not people that haul with Satan. So I write to her. I'm a disciple of Christ. That's what we are called to. And then she says, "Are you a Protestant, sir?" And I'm replying to in regards of burning thing and all that. I never said to burn the church buildings, just the filthy idols, crucifixes, images, icons, and cookies. But it might not be a bad thing to actually replace the some of these buildings seems to be it could be made more humble, like in the first century synagogues where there was no images or anything like that, and scripture was at the center. Anyway, not all these images and all that, going from scriptures and going into, looking, to images and statues and, kneeling before them and bowing before them and kissing them and making the upside cross and so forward and so forth. Anyway, so I write to her, well, if you mean by Protestant, protesting the Antichrist and man of the number 666, the office of the papacy and last misfortune on this earth, yes, I'm definitely a Protestant. And actually by her conclusion that I'm a Jehovah's Witnesses seems to be pretty, as far as I understand, Jehovah's Witnesses actually doesn't really go much against Roman Catholicism as far as I know. I don't know, maybe there's some out there that have, but at least the experience that I've had in regards of the Jehovah's Witnesses has actually been more of the other way around. So, not really to attack the Roman Catholic Church. So she asked me, or she tells me, so sad how you judge a man by your own human logic. Don't be ahead of God's time. Let things be happen to what is the will of God. If God wants Satan to enter his holy Catholic Church, everything in regards of Roman, this Roman Catholic system is apparently holy. It's just Just put on in front of it unholy thing. That you pretty much get the truth. Anyway. Enter his one holy Catholic Church to test all of his followers. Let that be happen. Yeah, I've seen quotes from Roman Catholics that says that even if the Pope, or the so-called Pope, the Antichrist, even if he was the devil himself, one had to abide by him. Follow after him, because he's the. It's just insane. It's utterly insane. It's incredible that they are so blind. It's just horrifying to see some of these quotations from Catholics, and then they will come out and say this and that and whatever, and just the twisters. It's a religion of twisting. Total religion of twisting. So anyway. And don't act like you are so clean. None of us is clean. No, well, we are, that's in regards to the blood of Jesus Christ, who died once and for all, not in a perpetual, apparently it won't show anymore. We're living in God's time on that is happening right now. Gods see it, and apparently, I don't know if there's any more. Typical technology. It's not when it's working, but there's so many times it fails. So I'll just open it up here in my browser, see if I can actually see more of the. Excuse me, but better out than in. I'm sitting here drinking some water here. Is that the one? Actually, it is actually this. It's the last bit. There's actually not more. Okay, so another guy writes to me. Chill, okay, as long as they do not pray and bow down to the crucifix and images, then it's fine. Well, that's the problem. They do that. Even God allowed images when he instructed man to build the Ark of the Covenant with images of seraphims and cherubs. Can't remember. I think actually it was cherubs on the ark, not seraphims. But anyway, it is that, and that was two. There was one on the one side and the other on the other side. And God was, said he would come in the middle of that. So it's called the mercy seat, right? So maybe it's because it was actually Jesus. But anyway, it is the action that's important. Only God must be glorified, worshipped, and prayed to, not the workmanship of our hands. And I would absolutely agree. But I'm not going to chill, because no one is actually telling these people that, no one is warning them. And because, you are speaking hate speech and you are unloving and you are this and that, I think the most unloving thing to do is not to tell them, So here we have another one, and he says, you know nothing and are doomed to never know anything. Sad for you, your spirit has left, leaving a shell. And I ask him, really? You want to tell me about your cookie god? Did Yeshua not say the living bread came down from the heavens? Does the Eucharist come down from the heavens into the hands of the Catholic priest? Question marks, question mark, question mark. You can have a look next time at your satanic mass of blasphemy. If the wafer does not come down from the heavens into the hands of the priest, I would suggest leaving the harlot and whore of Revelation. He didn't like that response, that's for sure. Let's see what his that's the guy that in regards of the that's in regards of the guy that was talking about the idols and all that. Oh, no, get back. So, I write to him, the problem is they do bow down and kneel, make the upright cross, incense, and light candle, should have been plural, and light candles, and kiss and venerate, and worship a lot of these things. Thereby iconoclasm is the way to go, as to show to the people who does not know that it is wrong and wicked to do these acts. We worship only Jehovah and his Son Jesus Christ. Come out of her, my people. Then I write to Paolo Dileg, and I write to her, nothing is holy in Satan's masterpiece of deception. It is just the old Roman pagan system of sun worship, still having the pagan high priest of sun worship as its head, Pontifex Maximus. She just took on sheep clothing to fool the people and deceive the world. To fool the people and deceive the world, get out of it and find the true living Christ who died once and for all for the sins of the world. That's a problem. You have to point out that Christ died once and for all, because the Romanist does not believe it. They do not believe that they continue to sacrifice this cookie in the churches. Anyway, Movian is writing back to me. True, I agree on that. Even if we do have respect for objects like to our Bible, we don't simply disrespect it, dump it as a trash, or kick it for it contains the word of God. But if someone distinctly revere works of hand, believing the object itself is holy and powerful, then it is definitely idolatry, even if it is a Bible. It does go extreme with no limits. I still remember watching Antichrist Francis bow and kiss a statue of baby Jesus, followed, it's not Jesus, but anyway, they think it's, followed by a long line of clerics kissing it too during Christ Mass. And in regards to Christ Mass, you need to put another S on it. It is in regards to the Roman Catholic Christ Mass. The Roman Catholics are commanded to to be in the church on Christ Mass, as far as I know. It is a command by the Antichrist that they, one of many of man-made laws. And he says, to doing Christmas, and it was a cringy sight. Was this a tradition of the apostles? I doubt it. Yes, Bible says to pin our hope and focus on Christ alone, and says no to any form of idolatry worship. Can't argue on that. That's nice. At least he's, I don't know what this guy is in regards of an Orthodox or a Catholic or whatever. But, some Protestants, they just need to have some guidance in the right direction, because they do actually have some sensibility and understanding, it seems. So some people just, some Protestants just seems to need some guidance in regards of, help in regards of seeing, that there's a problem here, because we have totally forgotten that no one teaches us these things. No one tells us these things. So again, it's... Anyway, I'll write back to him. Well, I don't think that system, in regards to Roman Catholicism or Romanism, has ever been Christian. And by the way, in regards to the word Romanism, they have used, I've seen sources where Roman Catholicism have used that word themselves, in regards of letters and getting true Christians out of anyway, that's another. Anyway, well, I don't think I don't think that system has ever been Christian. But anyway, yeah, I saw some of that as well. But I could not go on after the kissing of what you mentioned. That was in regards to the. And bowing before a crucifix that was standing on an altar, by the way. And then the so-called virgin statue with the child. I quit at that part. I felt I should see it being against Romanism, but at that point I just could not continue looking at it. Total abomination and utter disgusting. And it was absolutely horrible. I felt I needed to see in regards of, the Antichrist at last Christmas. It was sent in Danish television, and it's probably sent all over the world in regards of Christmas, in regards of the new birth of the sun god Sol Invictus, which actually Christ Mass is for. Like Sunday is the venerated day of the sun god Sol Invictus, and it's the first day of the week. It has nothing to do with the true Sabbath found in the Bible, the true day of rest. It's not holy, because the holy day is the seventh day of the week, not the first day of the week. So this guy, he, I think the demons in him has been pretty much set off at that point. That happens sometime, that, that people will pretty much, they will tell you a lot of things, but as long as just over the computer and all that, sometimes I'm thankful being behind a computer. I'm thankful that I can actually sit here and talk to Mohammedans and others without actually getting killed, at least not, but just that we can have a dialogue instead of them actually killing you off because of what you say. So the internet is a great tool to have a dialogue without actually people killing you off, I can speak to Mohammedan countries all over the world, and they can see my videos and all that if they wanted, without actually killing me and chopping my head off or whatever, they, putting me on a tree or a cross or whatever, it's still being done in these days, So anyway, so it's a great way of, that you have, both for them and for me, because, we have this, it's a wonderful thing, and we can speak the truth and, and not get into, fights besides talking to each other, right? So that's the worst thing that, in regards of, so it's not actually not bad. And I don't care if people are, cursing me or cursing me this and that and all that and saying bad things about me. It doesn't really do much, it's just the way of the Christian. So anyway, so if but sometimes it seems like that the demons really steer the people up when you speak the truth. And I don't even need to speak bad, I don't need to do anything but speak the truth. And just speaking the truth, makes people angry and hateful, and it's just incredible what the truth can do to people. Anyway, so they write, and I do write pretty what shall we say, square. I try to give the truth to the people as best as possible without any rounding of the truth, just give it directly to them as the best of my possibility. And there might be someone where it just, breaks through, and if I can just say one person, that's worth, more than gold and silver. Anyway, or at least be the one that helps, open the eyes of someone, Anyway, he writes back here, that's you have a terrible disease. Actually, I do have issues with my body, that's true, but, that I'm trying to, I haven't been able to fix it, and stupid choices in my life in regards to drinking overly excessive in my youth was very stupid, and smoking, that's, and you have a whole life in front of you, and I pretty much ruined my. Well, of course, I had other issues that actually was the reason why. So it just goes downhill. You have one issue, and then you don't know any better, and you ruin your. So and got into Satan's candy shop as well. In some sense, I was already there, but getting into the occult and all that. Anyway, you have a terrible disease. It has warped your brain and caused you to speak so that you are not understood. Sorry, I never felt the need to learn the language of hate you speak. Again, that goes the hate card. Don't worry about it. If people say you're speaking hate speech, and we should be more loving in regards to the Roman Catholics, it's a trick of the devil. It's a trick of the devil to try to make you not speak against this system. The same thing with the Mohammedans, hate speech, it's a trick, and actually I remember going back to Alberto Rivera talking about these different tricks of the Roman Catholics and how they actually use these tricks to, to shut people up and try to claim that Roman Catholics are Christians and all that. And so remembering back to those cartoons, that I read, of his stories and all that, looking at it, just so much of it rings true. And when Roman Catholics are coming and saying that Alberto Rivera was a fake and blah blah blah, well, that guy knew a lot of things. So there's only two conclusions that I can see. Either he was continuing Jesuit, or trying to deceive the whatever rest. But that seems to be. It seems a little. Why would he actually expose the system as he did if he was still continual Jesuit? The other option is that he actually was speaking the truth, and that he was a former Jesuit, and that he was speaking the truth from his heart, not saying that he got everything right, but that he, did the best that he could do. Oh, no, not at the moment. That's not good. Yeah, I'll not take it at the moment. Anyway, so something in regards of a butch that needs chopping or whatever. Anyway, I'll call her after the. Did we? No, the video's still going. Okay, great. It's a little early. She's calling, at the day, But anyway, I'll call her back. So let's make the video. But the whole family of mine seems to be into these things, And then again, when you then find out what is lies and you tell it to your family, it's like they don't care. Apparently, it's just incredible that my family, you feel betrayed. You feel betrayed that your whole family is in on these deceptions and just continuing to promote them, even if they knew that these traditions are pagan. Even if they knew that it was pagan, they were continuing doing these pagan practices and don't see any wrong in regards of it. So I don't understand, when you find out something is wrong, you should stop doing it, right? So why would I keep these pagan traditions of Easter and Halloween and Christmas and all of that? Why would I continue to do that? When I find out, on Sunday and all that, why would I if I just continue to do what just because everybody else does it, you think the Protestants, if they had said, well, let's just continue because, that's just how it is. If they did that, you think we would have had the Reformation that became a protest, No, of course not. So we in our days could read the Bible. And regards of the country that I live in, Denmark, it's sad to see that we have been able to read the Bible for 500 years and still have a lot of issues. It's incredible that we haven't moved any further and actually now moving backward a lot. So anyway, it's really, really, really sad. 500 years where the people of Denmark has had the possibility to study the Bible, and yet yet we haven't come further. I can't find the word for this, but it's incredible, insane that we haven't, or incredible. It's what is it called? Outrageous. That's one word I could use. Outrageous that we haven't come further. That we still believe in the cookie Jesus because Luther still had issues with that, and that we still go to church on Sunday, and that the priests don't tell who the Antichrist is and what Scripture says, and it seems like people are totally illiterate in regards to the Bible. It's just and how is it that 82% of the Danish people believe in evolution when the Bible clearly does not does not say that. And if you actually look into it, evolution is a pagan satanic lie, a deception. Someone is not doing that job in this country. Anyway, you have a terrible disease, he says. It was warped your brain and caused you to speak so that you are not understood. Sorry, I never felt it. So apparently he can't understand what I'm saying, That seems to be one of the things that Satan also do. You can speak to people the truth and all that, and lay the pearls just in front of them, and they just don't understand it. They just they can't apparently understand it. Many people, Anyway, it has warped your brain and caused you to speak so that you're not understood. For example, I was reading from Melito, which was a Christian in Asia Minor, in regards to Jesus being God, to one of these false witnesses in regards of Jehovah's Witnesses. Again, it's funny that they are actually, it's deceptive that they call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses, because they don't believe Yeshua is Jehovah, so they don't actually witness for him. So I'll call them the false witnesses. So the false witnesses, the main guy I talked to, I found this quote from Melito, which is very clear that Jesus is God. And what did he, what was the answer for it? Well, it's not what it really says. It's just, it's just incredible, It's just how far people will go to reject the truth is mind-boggling, It's totally dishonest, and I cut off the Jehovah's Witnesses or the false witnesses. I didn't want to waste more time on them. And I think actually it's, I guess in some way it made me research deeper into things. And I became stirred up and did more research into things. In the other way, I think it actually, it could actually damage me in regards of, getting polluted by the puking, but they are trained to deny that Jesus is Jehovah. They're trained to deny that Jesus is God Almighty. They might say, oh yeah, Jesus is God. But again, when they say it, they mean another God and not the God. So you see, Satan is very slick. So again, people speak, and that's the same thing with Roman Catholics. They might sound very Christian when they speak. But you just have to be aware what they actually believe. So, anyway, sorry, I never felt the need to learn the language of hate you speak. Dry up into the turd you started out as before someone pissed on you and got you all wet. And by the, he says, that's not very nice. I'm not sure if I should say it. I don't like cursing, but I'll just do it for the video in regards of shut the beep up, So, and he says, don't respond, do nothing more. I consider you harassing me, and as such, it's now my rules. Be gone, little wee Willie, your mama's calling you. You little Mr. Big Shot, you hit on the wrong one. I fight back, and you will not win. I have, these people sometimes, what they write, it's just incredible, it's just, again, if you want to have, if you are bored in life, just become a Christian, find out who Jesus Christ is, and you will have enough of interesting things coming at you, that's for sure. And a lot of censorship as well, and hatred, and, I guess, people don't, when you tell people about things, people, it seems to have lost sensibility, what am I getting out of telling people a lot of the things that I'm telling them, besides, persecution and hatred and all of that from a lot of people, what am I, it's, I'm not getting popular by the views I promote. It's not like, it's just, anyway, So anyway, I wrote back to him. So I wrote, I'm not that. I guess I'm harsh in my words, but I'm not actually, I don't think I'm using that, in regards of, I'm not speaking what shall we say, I'm not cursing and all that, but I'm using some word choices to explain things, but I don't think I'm actually going in the direction of, anyway, I answer him here. I guess, and that's 1 hour ago, I guess someone laying with the harlot would proclaim the truth to be a disease. Nothing really have changed through history. She is still the same lying, deceptive, wicked prostitute, and that will not change. I know you devils just want to kill me while proclaiming to do it in the name of Christ, but better be on the side of Jehovah than the devil of deception, as one can kill both body and soul, and the other only the flesh. Of course, Satan can only destroy the flesh, but Jehovah can destroy both body and soul, anyway. So get out of her bed and run from her dead cold hands. She is full of dead men's bones. She will suck you dry and kill you if you don't get out of that bed and get out of her Catholic whorehouse. And if you don't get out of that bed and get out of her Catholic whorehouse. So, again, I think I'm still speaking pretty nicely, but I am a little harsh in my words. That's true. Anyway, so Paolo is writing back to me here, and she says to me, and I already answered her question in regards to, disciple of Jesus Christ. And then she says, so you are Jehovah's Witnesses. So many times your sect and my true religion been in debate in my country, and your sect has been destroyed. Okay, well, I'm not, again, she's probably talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses in regards to the false witnesses. And again, I don't know in other places in regards to the false witnesses, but, as far as my experience with them, it doesn't seem like they have any understanding who the whole of Revelation is, and in regards to the Antichrist. Which is actually not what shall we say? It's actually not what's called. It's not a surprise, because they seem to get a lot of other things wrong. Just denying Jesus' divinity pretty much is the greatest key to unlocking the rest of the scriptures. So she says, for example, in the book of Genesis, God said, "Let us make man in our image." Did you notice the word us and our? God is not alone when he created us. Now actually, if you as far as I know in regards to the false witnesses, they do actually believe that the Father and the Son were together when they created. So I'm not, she's using an invalid argument already there, if I even was a false witness. The thing is that the false witnesses do not believe that the Son is Jehovah, and that's the problem. They deny that he is God Almighty. They believe that the Son is another God, and thereby they break scripture on, and then she makes another thing. You see, talking to people can be very, I guess, you try to do your best to be, and just tell people directly and all that. But a lot of these Catholics will just, they twist things, and they will try to, as you can see here, for example, and I have others they will try to put you in a box. I already told her I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. That's what we are called to. And yet she, so you're Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, I am a Jehovah's Witnesses, but not in the sense that she's thinking of. And then she goes on, she has made her own mind about something, which is not true again. So she already is I guess, bearing false witness, in some sense at least, because she already make her own assumption, which is wrong. And again, a lot of people makes a lot of assumptions, which tends to be wrong a lot of times about me. Apparently you just met someone on the internet and all that. Apparently they just know everything about you, from just talking with them for, chatting with them for a short while, It's incredible what people will, I guess it's,